In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to install Auto-GPT. Now, if you're not familiar with Auto-GPT, it's essentially a tool that uses GPT-4 and is connected to the web, and you give it a goal and it continues to process that goal using GPT-4 and what it finds on the web until it completes the goal. It figures out what next step it should take and takes that step. And then it figures out the next step it should take and then continues to take new steps, figuring it out on its own until it gets to desired goal destination that you set for it. Now, I recently made a video about Auto-GPT, Baby AGI, and Hugging GPT, and how these tools are taking us one step closer to true AGI. And after making that video, I had some requests from people wanting to learn how do I actually install this on my own computer if I want to use this tool myself. That's what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to walk you through how to install it on your computer, and then by the end of the video, I'm also going to show you a simpler, more stripped down version that you can also use that's a lot easier to set up. So I'll walk you through both of those right now. So to install it on your computer, the first thing you're going to need is you're going to need Get for Windows. So come over to getforwindows.org and click on download and install Get for Windows. This is a tool that's going to make it really easy for you to pull GitHub repositories directly onto your computer and automatically set them up. Once you have Get for Windows installed, you're also going to want Python installed. So head over to python.org, come over to the download section, click on Windows, and you're going to want the latest stable release. Now, as of recording this, the latest stable release is Python 3.10.11, which came out on April 5th. If you're going to be doing anything with Stable Diffusion, you're probably going to want to get the release right before this one and actually download Python 3.10.10. I've had a few issues trying to use the newest version, 10.11 here, with Stable Diffusion. And if you're into AI like I am, you're probably not going to want to just use Auto-GPT. You're probably also using tools like Stable Diffusion. So might as well get the version that I know definitely works with Stable Diffusion, which is 3.10.10. So go ahead and click on that version there. Scroll down on the page, and you're going to want to click on Windows Installer 64-bit. Go ahead and let that download, and then run the installer. Make sure that when you do install it, you click this box that says add python.exe to path. That's going to be important. And then go ahead and click install now and let it install. All right, we can go ahead and close out of that. We're done there. And I'm going to go ahead and close the Python website. Now you're going to want to find the directory on your computer where you're going to install it. In my case, I have this E drive here, which is purely for AI stuff that I do. I'm going to go ahead and create a new folder inside of my AI folder here, and I'm going to call it Auto-GPT. You can install it anywhere on your hard drive that you want. This is where I'm going to put mine. And then I'm going to double click into this folder, and then I'm going to come up here to my command bar where you can see my URLs. I'm going to click into this command bar so that it's typable, and I'm going to type CMD. This is going to open up a command terminal here. Now, the next thing that we need to do is we need to go and find Auto-GPT on GitHub. So the one we want is from Torrentolino here. So you can simply search for Auto-GPT here on GitHub, search all of GitHub, and then you've got this one called Torrentolino/Auto-GPT. You can tell this is the right one because this one's got over 36,000 stars on it. So we'll click into this one here. Now we want to come over to this green box here that says code, click on the drop-down arrow, and then we're going to copy this URL here. So go ahead and just click these two little squares to copy it, and then we're going to jump over to this terminal that we just opened up here. And you can see we're already in the folder where we want to install this. So we're going to go ahead and type get space clone space, and then we're going to paste in that URL that we just grabbed, and then we're going to hit enter. And now you can see it just cloned it into our directory. So if I open up this Auto-GPT directory that we have here, you can see everything from this GitHub area here was just put into our folder right here. Now on this GitHub page here, if we scroll all the way down here, we're looking for the installation instructions. We just did this step one where we did get clone and then the URL. The next thing we want to do is we want to copy this little line of code here that says pip space install space -r requirements.txt. All right, we're going to go ahead and just copy that. So now once we're in this new directory where it installed all of these files, we're going to come back up to our little window here, and we're going to open up our command prompt again. And this time we are now opening it in this new directory that it just created. And we're going to go ahead and paste that code that we just grabbed from GitHub right here into this slot in our terminal. And we're going to hit enter. And now it's going to go ahead and do all of the installation of Auto-GPT here. All right, so that's finished. I'm going to go ahead and minimize our terminal for a second. And you'll see this file here called .env.template, and then click on open with, and just open it with a notepad here. Now you can see we've got this text file where we are going to replace some information here. So the first thing it asks for is a Pinecone API key. So in order to get your Pinecone API key, come over to pinecone.io and sign up for a free account. Once you have a free account, you can log in, and when you're logged in, over on the left, you'll see a little button for API keys. Go ahead and create a new API key. I'm just going to name this one Auto-GPT here, and we'll create the key. Go ahead and copy the key value. I'm just going to use this key temporarily and then delete it. We'll come over here. We'll paste in our Pinecone API key right next to Pinecone API key. And then next to Pinecone ENV, it says your Pinecone region. So the region is right here. We'll go ahead and copy this, paste that right here into our Pinecone region. Now it asks for your Open API key. In order to get that, you're going to need an OpenAI key. So you're going to come to platform.openai.com/accounts/API key. If you don't already have an OpenAI account, you're going to need to create one. Create a new secret key under your API keys and copy this key over into the Open API key right here. Now the 11 Labs keys are not necessary. They're only if you want it to speak back to you in a specific voice. So if you want it to talk to you in your own voice, you can train your voice into 11 Labs, plug in your 11 Labs API key here, pick your voice ID, and it'll speak back to you in your own voice, but that's not absolutely necessary. We'll go ahead and save this file, we'll close it, and then we're going to rename this file. We're actually going to call it just .env and get rid of everything after .env. So all it says is .env and click yes. Now all that's left to do is actually run Auto-GPT. So if we come back to our command terminal here, make sure we're in the same directory where Auto-GPT is installed, and we're going to type Python space scripts/main.py. And if we want it to actually talk to us and actually say what it's doing as it does it, we can put --speak, and then it will speak out everything it does. So go ahead and hit enter on that.
Welcome back. Would you like me to return to being Entrepreneur GPT?
So as you can see /here by default, it is set up as Entrepreneur GPT with the role as an AI designed to autonomously develop and run businesses with the sole goal of increasing your net worth. Goal, increase net worth, develop and manage multiple businesses autonomously, play to your strengths as a large language model. If you hit yes, it will go ahead and run that script for you. If you hit no, it will ask you to enter an AI name and create a new Auto-GPT. So we can give this an AI name of Matt GPT.
Matt GPT here. I am at your service.
Now it wants us to explain the role of Matt GPT. Let's say Matt GPT is an AI bot that hunts the internet for interesting topics related to machine learning to share on Twitter and YouTube. And then it says enter up to 5 goals for your AI. Search for the latest news in AI and machine learning. Goal 2, find valuable tutorials related to AI and machine learning. Suggest ideas for new content related to what you find. And then if I just hit enter again, I don't have to set a 4th goal. It'll just start running.
I am going to search for recent news in AI and machine learning. I want to execute Google.
So right now, this is on a mode where I have to tell it yes for every single command. So it basically asks permission every time before it'll actually take the next action. So I'm going to go ahead and say yes, go ahead and do the search.
I am going to browse the MIT News website to learn more about the recent news article in AI and machine learning. I want to execute browse_website.
So you can see it's asking me now, can it browse the URL mit.edu/machine learning for the question, what key points can I capture from this page? So let's go ahead and let it do that.
I will now use my write_to_file command to keep important information about the recent articles from the MIT News website. I want to execute write underscore to underscore file.
So you get the idea. It'll keep on searching these websites for me now, but I have to hit yes every single time I want it to do that. Now I'm going to go ahead and close out of this command window here. Go back to the folder this was all created in, type cmd again. This time I'm going to put the command python space scripts / main.py, but I'm going to put -- continuous this time. When I put -- continuous, it's not going to ask me before it does it every single time. I'm also going to take off the speak command so it doesn't speak to me every single time. And if I hit enter, it's going to load Auto-GPT, but it's going to give me a warning. Continuous mode is not recommended. It is potentially dangerous and may cause your AI to run forever or carry out actions you would not usually authorize. Use at your own risk. Now, according to the GitHub page, you can exit the program at any time by hitting Control-C. So we'll just make sure that we hit Control-C to get out of it. But let's go ahead and let it continue to run MatGPT. But this time it's just going to go hands-free. I don't have to hit yes every single time. All right, so that's pretty much the rundown of how you install and run Auto-GPT on your own local computer. Now, I did mention at the beginning that there is an easier way to do it. There's a new tool that just came out called Agent GPT. It's free to use, but you do have to plug in your API key on this one as well. You can find it at agentgpt.reworked.ai. Just keep in mind, reworked is spelled REWORKD with no E between the K and the D there. And this is essentially a web user interface for Auto-GPT. Now, this one doesn't integrate with Pinecone, so it's not going to save stuff into long-term memory like your own local install will, but it will run autonomously for you while you sit here and let it. So this one, you do have to use your own API key from OpenAI still. So I'm going to go ahead and use that same one that I was using earlier because I am going to delete this API key as soon as I get done recording this video. So we'll go ahead and copy this one and we'll go ahead and paste this right here into Agent GPT and click save. Now, same thing like we did in our own Auto-GPT. We can type this as whatever name we want. I'll call it MatGPT. And this one, it looks like you only enter one goal. Find interesting and valuable AI topics to create exciting content around. Go ahead and deploy the agent. You can see it says added task, scour the latest AI research paper and news articles for emerging trends and topics. Added task, analyze user feedback and engagement data to identify areas of interest and potential content opportunities. Added task, collaborate with subject matter experts to generate unique and insightful AI content. And then it starts executing, scour the latest AI research papers and news articles. You can see it started doing that. Added a new task, identify potential experts in the field of AI and healthcare, ethics and AI, explainable AI, etc. Executing, and now it's just going to continue to run this task here. Added task, identify relevant industry events and conferences focused on AI to attend or sponsor. Identify potential platforms and channels to distribute the created AI content for maximum reach and engagement. Identify and analyze the target audience's demographics and interests tailored to their created AI content specifically for them to increase engagement and conversion rates. And you can see it's executing on these tasks and it's adding new tasks to the task list. It's executing on tasks, adding new tasks to the task list. And as it finishes stuff, it says task marked as complete. We can go ahead and at any point we want, stop the agent here. And now we can click save up here. And we have an entire PNG file of the output here. So I can zoom in on it and you can see here's a giant image of all of the output of everything that this just gave us. So we can review all of the content that it came up with. Or we can come up here and click copy, open up something like a Google Doc here, and paste all of the contents of it into a Google Doc, which is probably a little bit easier than trying to read through an entire image. So there you have it. There's a step-by-step tutorial on installing Auto-GPT on your own computer, which also leverages Pinecone, so it will store information into long-term memory, so it will actually remember some stuff that following times when you come back to it. Or if you want the real simple light version, you can use Agent GPT for free right now. All you got to do is enter your OpenAI key, which I guess technically isn't free. You know, you are going to pay for the credits that are used. It'll likely be pennies as long as you're not running it for hours and hours on end. So hopefully you found this tutorial quick and helpful and you were able to set up Auto-GPT easily. Excited to see what you guys do with it.